This is, we are going to start the cost management terminologies and concepts, assuming ourselves that you don't know anything about cost accounting, you don't have any educational background. Starting our discussion, we have to discuss these major broad topics: cost management terminology, cost behavior and relevant range, cost classification and cost techniques. In cost terminologies, first of all, we will learn what is a cost. What is the difference between cost and expense? Sometimes we incur some expenditure. Sometimes we say it is costly for me. Sometimes we say this is expensive. So in that case, there is a slight difference between two terms. What is the difference that we will discuss? Then how the cost behaves, cost behavior. Sometimes you have monthly expenditures. So we say, okay, your cost is fixed. We name it as fixed cost. Sometimes your costs keep varying, keep changing. We say, okay, this is a variable cost. Sometimes your cost is going straight, then it suddenly changes and it becomes again fixed. For example, your rent. For 1 year, your rent is fixed. If you continue there, same in Dubai, 5% will be added to that. So it was fixed, but one stage it just climbed up or down, whatever the circumstances, and then it becomes fixed for the period of time. So this is step fixed. So there are so many behaviors, how the cost behave, we are going to discuss today. Again, how we classify, this is supplement to this, and costing techniques, like there are some methods which we use to calculate the cost of a product. Suppose Nestle is a big factory. They have all over the world, they have offices, they have administration staff, research and development, marketing, sales. They do a lot of advertisement as well. But how they calculate the cost of a small mineral water? Apparently, this looks complex, because whatever salaries, overheads they are incurring, they are covering from their products. So how to price a product, 1 dirham, 2 dirhams, $3, $5, this is, we will learn in this. And in this chapter and next 2 chapters are related to the cost techniques. Today in cost techniques we will have a theoretical ideas. The next 2 lectures are for the calculations. Starting ourselves, we have 2 broad categories of accounting. One is management accounting, one is financial accounting. Financial accounting is given by generally, it is for external reporting. It has PET formats like balance sheet, which is now new named as statement of financial position, and profit and loss, which is statement of comprehensive income, right? This is a format given by the International Federation, and we cannot play with it. It is fixed. If they want non-current assets on the top, current asset on the middle, we have to follow that. We cannot change. If they want that we should make 2-year accounts, 2009, 2010, we have to make 2 years comparative accounts. If you are not willing to make, you don't have any choice. This is as per standards, we don't have choice. For this particular industry, we will calculate the depreciation. This is given by the direction given by the International Federation. So, financial accounting is for the external users, and we don't have any choice to make formats in our way that we want. No. So, financial accounting is a knowledge which is standard, which is for external users, and it is always available in the public limited company for the public use. But Opposite to this, we have management accounting, as the word shows, accounting for management. Now, management is managing the company from inside the organization. So, these all information is for internal users. Now, if your owner belongs to US, he want to see a balance sheet in a way that you place all assets here and all liabilities and capital here in this format, because he is not comfortable with the other format, that is vertical format, right? So you can do it. There is no problem, because these reports that we make in management accounting is to help management for decision making. In the internal reports, we can put current assets below and non-current assets in the middle, or current liabilities on the top. Whatever the favorite area of the management they want to see on the top, you can do it, right? So financial accounting is concerned primarily with reporting to the external user, and while you are in US, you are following the gaps. Now, as all of you know, that CPA has announced CPA 2011 with removing gaps and incorporating IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. So, management accounting is concerned primarily with reporting to the internal users. So you have a choice. There is no hard and fast pegged format. Even for the budgets, some companies make sales budget, marketing budget, production budgets. This is all we will discuss in this course. And cash budgets or operational budgets. They can make it in a way they want. Cost of goods sold budget, they can put direct material below, direct labor up. This is up to them. Now, the management accountant goal is to produce reports that improve organizational efficiency and performance. Being a CMA, why they have a lot of subjects in these two parts is they want to develop your horizon, your understanding like a general manager. Means you are looking to the operations, productions, your admissions, if you're in a school, admissions, your administration, your academics. You know all the general information that is required to help company improving themselves, right? Cost accounting supports both financial and management accounting. Information about the cost of resources required and consumed by an organization underlies effective reporting for internal and external users. So this is the cost accounting is a merger of financial accounting and management accounting, which is useful for the internal and external users. What is the cost? Cost is defined by IMA, that is Institute of Management Accountant, which takes the examination for the CMA. So our institute defines in cost accounting a measurement in monetary terms of amount of the resources used for some purpose. The term by itself is not operational, it becomes operational when modified by a term that defines the purpose, such as acquisition cost, incremental cost, or fixed cost. It's very simply, if you spend some money, it becomes your cost. And in the complex phenomenon, when you paid for 2 years, 3 years, you see how much is becoming expense and how much is still left as your asset or as your prepaid. So, in financial accounting, the sacrifice made by the price paid or required to be paid to acquire goods or services, the term cost is often used when referring to the valuation of a good or services. When cost is used in this sense, a cost is an asset. Every cost is an asset which expires every day. and the portion that is expired, it becomes expense. In cost accounting, anything that we purchase becomes a cost. In financial accounting, whatever we do, whatever we purchase, it becomes expense. So it's just an approach to see the same thing. If you are talking from accounting point of view, then when you go to the market, you bought stock, it becomes your purchases and it is your expense, right? For the time being. But we have to see it is like a stationery or it's an asset. This is the main classification will remain the same. But in accounting, generally we don't use the term cost. In cost accounting, we don't use the term expense. We use the term as cost. So being CMAs, we will discuss every time the cost. A cost object is any entity to which cost can be achieved. A cost driver is a basis used to assign cost to a cost object. And the cost of manufacturing a product can be classified in three parts. One is direct material, one is direct labor, and one is overheads. Now let me give you some discussion so it becomes very easy for you. We will take the example of this, suppose this LCD is in front of us. We can see few things, we cannot see few things. The things that we can see is the material. So this is direct material, means directly identifiable in the product. And we can assume, okay, one person who makes the LCD, he took like, say $100 per LCD. So this is directly identified. Same in the case of a chair, that if you want to make a chair, we need a material, like we need leather, we need steel. This is identifiable. And if we call a carpenter who can make the chair, we know that he will ask for $100 or $50 per chair. This is direct labor. So any expense which is directly identifiable in the product is your direct expense. Opposite to this, there are some indirect expenses which is very important to develop a product. Suppose this chair has a salary of chief accountant, financial controller, security guard. It has the electricity also. It has DIVA bill or SIVA bills, and a lot of things are inside, printing, brochures, all we have to put it in this, so we can add some margin. First we will calculate the cost, then we will add the margin and we will sell it. This is the mechanism for this one. Sale price is not our concern. We are learning now how to make a cost price. Cost price has always two portion. One is direct portion, one is indirect portion. In direct portion, we have direct material, which is directly identified, which we can see. Now, some material may be indirect, which is we are not observing, maybe the glue that is used or the small screw that is pasted inside, we don't know. But without that, it was very difficult to make a chair. So in a product we have direct material, direct labor, and for others we use one term that is called overheads, that is indirect expenses. Example, I gave you the rent of the factory, the lighting, heating, security guard salary, accountant salary, marketing manager salary. This is all is an expense which is indirect. Now, some expense we consider as manufacturing expense, some we consider as administration expenses, and some selling and marketing expenses. But at the end of the day, we have one cost. This is how we classify to understand ourselves, but generally this is one cost that we need to tell our sales guys so they can sell in the market. Because at the end of the day, when the financial accountant will make the profit and loss statement, he will take income and he will deduct all the expenses. So he should get some profit. From there we can get the ratio like gross profit sales ratio and net profit sales